Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs, so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
As always, 28 years since October 12th. 28 years of Free Friday training, and once they started Clubhouse with Mary Lynn and Glenn and Scotty and TM and all the others that have been throughout the years with us, we are just blessed to amplify and extend the reach of our Friday training. So I want to thank you guys. Speaking of invited, not obligated, we always like to start by setting the room, letting you know where we're going to be. We were in 209 cities last year. We're going to try to beat that record this year. I know it'll be over 200, but maybe we'll get to 211. My lucky number is 11. That would work for me. But I'm blessed to have a young cohort in collaboration. He is an amazing young man, 25 years, an old soul going on 65. He has a smile like Dudley Do-Right and the energy of Zeus. Anyway, Nick of WOM, the well-oiled machine. When you set the room, don't forget to remind people about the WOM podcast that you're starring in, and it's the fastest growing podcast that I have. And so, Nick of Wam, take it over for me.
Absolutely. And the Doolittle smile is painted across my face as I am always so excited to be here, especially on a Friday morning. No better way to start the day than, of course, with you, David, and the Breakfast with Champions, let alone our communities. Of course, we are live for your Friday training everywhere. And for everybody, today's training is going to be the relativity of the past. So, of course, I want to remind everybody that as we work through the first half of today's training, and I know you're going to want the guide and exercise from David, all you're going to need to do is reach out to David directly, david@dmeltzer.com. And of course, we are on tour, of course, over 200 cities this year alone. And coming up, we want to invite but not obligate everybody to come and join us in New York City, as we are going to be there next week for a keynote speech, community meetup, and of course, one of our VIP charitable dinners. Then it will be off to Palm Beach, Florida, as we have a holding court community meetup and an over-the-top private event experience at Mar-a-Lago. Then it'll be off to San Diego, California for the Relativity Kickoff 2026 keynote speech and community meetup. Then we will be ending out the month of January in the SoFi Stadium for the January edition of our mastermind. Then it'll be off to Charlotte, North Carolina with the Aspire Business Tour. Santa Clara, California for Super Bowl 2026, Radio Row, mansion parties, Shaq's Funhouse, and everything in between. And then it'll be off to Pebble Beach for, of course, the Pebble Beach program with so many other incredible friends. If you would like the reminders on where we're going to be, and over 200 invitations, but not obligations each and every year, make sure to text us. That's why we created our text community, which is just 949-298-2905. And last but most certainly not least, before I turn it back over to you, David, I want to remind all our WOMers out there, and of course, WOMer stands for Well-Oiled Machine. We are going to be coming to you live today, episode number 34 of the Well-Oiled Machine podcast, hosted by both David as well as myself. And that is going to be going live at 11:30 a.m. Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So, of course, if you would like to tune in and just catch us on any of your favorite social platforms, or reach out to me directly for the link, Nick, N-I-C, @dmeltzer.com. So without further ado, Mr. Meltzer, turning it over to you to guide us for the first half of today's training, Relativity of the Past, and then we will open it up for Q&A with our community.
I just need a thumbs up by Mike Allen. I thought the training was surround yourself with the right service. Thumbs up to that, Mike, or is it relativity of the past? Because you got to tell me. So what is it, Mike?
Relativity of the past.
Okay, you sent me the wrong notes.
Oh, perfect.
So, yes. All right.
2 seconds.
I'll go off the top of my head and tell you about the relativity of the past. I will tell you this about the past, that most people limit themselves by their past. The failures, setbacks, mistakes. I lost over $100 million. I had to tell my mom I was bankrupt and lost her house when the only reason I wanted to be rich was to buy her that house to create financial security in her life. And if I didn't align the meaning of that with where I wanted to be, if I didn't take the disciplined behaviors that got me to the wealth that I created and turn it into devotional discipline, which is far different. You know, so many people, Nick, they get so busy working with that discipline, they forget to make money. And there's a difference between discipline and devotion, and understanding that the meaning of the past gives you context, and that context allows you to align with the divine and allows you to have guidance in your behaviors to make it divine and devotional, not just disciplined, living your life like a tube, food in and food out. And so understanding the meaning of the past and the relativity to it, the contextual difference of what it is. And hopefully here I will get some further notes on, you know, organizing my lessons today. I apologize. Nick, while we do that, why don't you go ahead and give me a question?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I've learned from you in relation to what is the past is especially the meaning that we give the past and how it impacts what is our present. So I would love it if you could empower me and remind me, let alone our community, with the lesson of how the thoughts about our present are truly shaped and determined by our past experiences. And then, of course, in alignment with that, how we can not only elevate our awareness to such, but then even change the meaning that we do give the present by elevating our awareness to the meaning we give it from the past.
Sure. And if you could send me the notes, Nick, because Mike hasn't yet. So understanding that alignment is essential. So when we talk about devotion and discipline and divine direction towards where we want to be or better, we take the failures, the mistakes, the setbacks, the defining moments, the historical relevances even of our past. And we then align it by paying attention to what we want personally, experientially, giving wise and receiving wise. And it's not just the attention that we put onto it, but it's understanding what true definite purpose or intention is. And so as we look at what intention is, meaning what we do aligned with our divine direction, what we say aligned with our divine direction, what we think aligned with our divine direction, what we feel and what we believe aligned with our divine direction. When we see what we pay attention to, plus these 5 levels of intention, it equals the coincidences of our potential, the coinciding of our potential, the coinciding of the truth. And most people interfere with it because they feel punished, resentful, guilty, worried, angry, frustrated, separate, inferior, superior, indicated by their past. And that meaning of the past is the relativity of the past. And that meaning is what provides context to your self-image and your imagination. And I will repeatedly let you know that you never will overachieve your own self-image or your imagination because it's infinite. Your self-image is the image of the infinite, and it is in itself unlimited. Your imagination. And so many people fail and fall down because not only do they not align the meaning of the past and the failures, setbacks, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances, and even successes, but they limit themselves by giving it the wrong relativity. And so if we look at the book that I've written here, that's behind me, in the book of Don't Do Business with Dicks, the idea of relativity of the past is a huge aspect of how and why we interfere with our potential by doing business with the wrong people, the wrong ideas, the wrong events, the wrong situations, the wrong amount and usage of attention and intention and time. And it is this that holds us back the most of anything that we do. And please, if you want to help me out, so many people ask me, what can I do for you, Dave? Pre-order Don't Do Business with Dicks. It'll be helping each other along in alignment with my mission of empowering others to empower others. It is true, especially for me, that we've all done business with dicks. The external ones who drain our energy, and the internal one that lives as ego, fear, resentment, guilt, separation, inferiority, superiority, worry, that are relative to the old stories of this lifetime and multiple lifetimes of genetic and energetic inheritance, if you believe in that kind of shit. The cost of this isn't just doing bad deals or having tough meetings. It's the quiet tax, the dummy tax that interferes with our harmony, our focus, our co-creation, our creativity and confidence. The truth about this is very, very simple. We never overachieve or outperform our own self-image, which is regulated and limited by the relativity of the past. If our past is wired to the meaning that gives us context, and that meaning keeps us small, our present gets negotiated by the interfering feelings of anger, separation, inferiority, superiority, worry, instead of the alignment of the divine devotional intention of what we do, say, think, feel, and believe. I've created these 6 lessons to help us rewrite that contract. We need to identify the influences that do not serve us, that interfere with our harmony, that clear the interference, and choose different rooms that stretch us, not soothe our insecurities or enforce or enhance them. We will replace the blame, shame, and justification with ownership. We'll replace the pressure with practice. We will replace the regret with release. This is not a theory. It's a daily operating system of the human experience, indicated by the time your heart starts until it stops. And when we change the energy we carry, the rooms, the deals, and relationships we attract will change with it. When we change the way we look at things, when we change the relativity of the past, the things we look at will change. So let's, in this training, learn how to retire the old narratives, act on what we can control today, and build the inspiration, intelligence, and intuition that create the momentum around who we are and who we were becoming. If you'd like the lessons and exercises for today, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The first lesson in the relativity of the past is audit the influence. Audit the influence internally and externally. Remember that if we're not taking inventory in unexamined people and patterns, both around us and within us, we quietly interfere with our energy, which most people will define as draining energy. I believe the paradigm shift is that we are interfering with an infinite amount of energy, intelligence, intuition, and inspiration. And we do it by what we are surrounding ourselves with outside and inside of us. And this allows us to steer our devotion and our decisions in an intentional way by allowing us to do, say, think, feel, and believe accordingly. Toxic people will train us to project these interferences onto others as well. So it's creating more interference internally and exponentially externally as we blame, as we live in shame and justify the interference of toxicity of others. Our ego, which edges good or growth or gold out of our lives, EGO, will train us to avoid these interferences, these hard situations, events, people, and rooms. This is what keeps us small. This is what limits us in an unlimited, infinite universe of a system of thought that's abundant with more than enough of everything for everyone. If we don't name the influences around us, if we don't look for the clues, the patterns, it will become normalized and we will make the wrong choices. We will continue to exponentially interfere or even accelerate in the wrong trajectory in a disciplined way. In other words, get so busy working, you forget to make money. It is our awareness that creates our first boundary. Awareness to the clues, awareness to the patterns, and of course, awareness to the choices that we make as we audit the influence internally and externally. When we look at the top 3 internal influences, internal habits, non-negotiables, and we look at the top 3 external influences, the biggest teams that we play on by subject matter, topic, and expertise, knowing who in that team, according to subject matter, topic, or expertise, sits in a situation that we want to be in and asking them for directions or helping other people on our team get to where they want to be, because that's the fastest way to get to where you want to be. And so we constantly want to take inventory and audit at least the top 3 non-negotiable internal and external influences and habits that we have in order to effectuate the reduction, the diminishment of the interference that we create by these influences, the limitation that it causes us in the relativity of the past. We want to make sure that these interference that we create, the limitations that we create, are replaced So we do an inventory, influence inventory internally and externally, and then we look for behavior replacement. And so we categorize these influences as, is this influence aligned with my divine direction of where I want to be or better, or is it interfering with where I want to be or better? And then we dissipate and dissolve the ones that interfere, giving us more time, the quantitative measurement that is dependent on all human experiences in order to effectuate advancement of accelerating towards where we want to be, aggregating the resource of where we want to be, and exponentially creating outcomes, even when the evidence is not presented in front of us in the present, or the evidence is contrary, as it was in my life when I lost everything, including my mom's house, when the evidence is contrary even. And I utilize this inventory, the boundary justification and replacement of behaviors, categorizing it as devotional towards where I want to be or interfering with it. And then be accountable. Be accountable, whether it takes a partner or you individually can stay accountable with this audit. What did I do to be responsible? What did I do to track this? What did I do to participate in the relativity, the perception of that relativity? And what am I supposed to learn from it? Each time we take a lesson and learn from it and not create a repetitive loop of negative behavior, we are advancing, accelerating, aggregating, and compounding exponentially the outcomes that we desire, even though the evidence is not presented as such. If you would like the guide or exercise of this lesson, number 1, audit the influences internally and externally, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. David means beloved, at D, my first initial, Meltzer means servant, at David, beloved, David at dmeltzer.com. Lesson 2, energy itself, the infinite amount of energy is greater than the story. So what we carry chooses our environment, our rooms that we're in, the teams that we play for. A lot of people just think that we think thoughts, and we think that other people think, and we get lost in what we think about what other people think. And we start thinking about what we don't want, what other people want for us, or what social media wants for us. And we start to understand the energetic transmission that occurs from thinking about other people thinks. And so we just don't think thoughts. We actually convey energy. We transmit it. And that transmission, that signal, that frequency, that is that attracts the matching, like the matching game, as Dr. Wayne Dyer taught me, one of my most notable mentors in the world, would talk about the match game. What are you matching with people, deals, rooms, finance, health? What are you matching with your thoughts? Good match, bad match, aligned with where you want to be or better, not aligned with where you better be. When I was young, because I had a single mom and had 6 kids, 5 boys and 1 girl, often I had to go to my grandparents' house, and my grandmother was a Yoda. She was a wise old woman. And I would tell her how bored I was again and again. And she instilled in me that only stupid people get bored. Now, I didn't just think that, and I didn't realize it. I never thought of myself as stupid. In fact, I wasn't insecure about being stupid, but it became an energetic inheritance that I was stupid because it was reinforced again and again that only stupid people got bored, and I got bored a lot. And so I started surrounding myself into safe rooms and safe spaces and hiring people that I knew weren't smarter than I, that couldn't help me stretch, because I felt secure that they wouldn't test me or challenge me. This energetic inheritance limited my potential, my self-image, and my imagination. And so I realized through a lot of deep work that energetically I got rid of only stupid people got bored. And I started playing a different match game that extraordinary people get bored with extraordinary things because they need more. They constantly need to be, quote unquote, more interested than interesting. So people that are never bored, are more interested than interesting. That's my match game. So when we change our thoughts and we change our energy and we change our rooms and we change the way that our perception and our relativity changes, our results change as well. Once again, Dr. Wayne Dyer, change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so we want to write down these identities. I am humble. I am present. I am a fast learner. What am I doing to interfere with it? Understand and align the rooms and the teams that we play for and through by subject matter, topic, and expertise, and know what position on the team you're playing so that you're not the smartest one in the room, that there's always people that sit in a situation that you want to be in, always in the room as well, people that you can help to get to where they want to be or better. And like always, we want to practice this. Practice it daily with the what, the who, the how, the now, and apply the why. Breathe, meditate, clear the interference, utilize the stop, the drop, and the roll to shorten the distance of resistance through wisdom and the faith that energy is greater than the stories that we tell, and we carry it, and it chooses the rooms, the environment, and the relativity of our lives. If you would like lesson number 2, don't forget the beloved servant, David at D, first initial, Meltzer.com, David at dmeltzer.com. Happy to send the guys exercises and books for free. Not a problem. Lesson 3 in the relativity of the past is to understand how to reframe, but also how to relive the past. You see, because meaning is contextual and that meaning is a power of co-creation and commandment in the infinite realm, an infinite, abundant, unified system of thought, that then creates the relativity, meaning the past is flexible to the meaning that we assign it. This is where the contextual nature of meaning is and the relativity of meaning is. And the meaning that we assign will either imprison and punish us with worry, guilt, resentment, separation, inferiority, superiority, anger, worry, whatever it is, or it's flexible that we can use it to empower us, to inspire with intellect, intuition, with information in today's actions. There's an old quote. I was working with Vida Blue, a famous pitcher from the San Francisco Giants, and we had hired him to speak, and he was an incredible favorite in San Francisco area, and people lined up to tell him how great he was. And I loved his quote because he said, David, the older that we get, the better we were. Same statistics. He didn't change his career in any way after he was done playing. The same facts remained, but a better meaning, a lighter energy, a better future. The older you get, the better you were. Why not? Because the past is flexible. We can reframe or even relive the past as Vida Blue did by simply changing the meaning. And the meaning will change for others as well. We will never outperform our own self-image. We'll never overachieve our imagination. So we need to upgrade the meaning and upgrade the identity that we utilize for the past by giving it a meaning. And the way that we give it a meaning is defined through gratitude and mercy. Through gratitude, the light, the love, and the lessons, and mercy, the forgiveness of learning those lessons to be accountable as in lesson 1 and 2 requires, so that we can live in spirit, inspired, and allow the infinite to come through us for others and help set us free as well to achieve our own potential and pursue it in an enjoyable way. Look at the different setbacks that we had and utilize the what happened, what we made it mean, and give it a new empowering meaning, the skills gained, the standards raised, the lessons learned. What was it that exactly happened? What we made it mean, and a new empowering meaning is the reframing and reliving of our past to expand exponentially the outcomes that we desire in a devotional way, a divine direction. We want to make sure that we are reframing and reliving this and sharing it with the personal and professional relationships to help support that relativity. So it becomes not only your reality, but the reality of the rooms that you're in. We want to make sure that not only are we, but others are celebrating the celebratable, celebrating the lessons not the loss. We must use the relativity of the past to relive our past in a meaningful, devotional way to make those lessons celebratable and the losses forgettable. If you would like the lesson 3, the relativity of the past, reframing and reliving, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 4 in the relativity of the past, accountability without blame, without shame, and without justification. Blame, shame, and justification are the way that most people interfere with where they want to be or better. It's what people use to live like tubes, food in, food out. It's the way that people roll a boulder to the top of the hill just to have it roll down to the bottom each and every day, like in Camus' The Stranger. It is because blame, shame, and justification not only interferes with our potential, but it freezes us through procrastination and the feelings of overwhelmed. When we utilize accountability and ask ourselves, what did I do to be responsible? What did I do to attract this to myself? What did I do to participate in this meaning, relativity, or perception? And what am I supposed to learn from it? This ownership that occurs restores our power, clears the interference, shortens the distance of resistance, and increases our momentum, our inspiration, intuition, and intelligence that create that momentum. When we lose something, money, a client, a business deal, a house, our mom's house, and we make excuses, our pipeline, our true connection is interfered with. It's stalled with procrastination and a feeling of being overwhelmed. But when we own the miss and we can fix the follow-up, we're able and capable of winning 2 new opportunities when we may have just lost 1. We have an opportunity to make more money, help more people, and have more fun than we ever did when we take that accountability without blame, shame, and justification. Accountability is not self-attack. It's actually our shortest path from the interference, regret, to result. The shortest distance of resistance from regret to result. This is what accountability does. It will get us to where we want to be or better exponentially when most people live their life in regret. This is why understanding our timing and risk tolerance is so important, because when you do, even if you lose, if it's aligned with your timing and risk tolerance, you may be disappointed but never regretful. And so that disappointment allows us to accelerate, to create a shorter distance of resistance, a shorter path to the results, the exponential ones that we desire, with more and better devotional discipline in the behavioral trajectory of where we want to be or better. When we make a mistake and we're seeking through gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability, the light, the love, and the lessons, ask ourselves, we own this. What is our next action? And take it. Do it now. Prioritize it within the negotiable behaviors according to the circumstances of the day. Do not neglect the non-negotiable behavior, but make this a priority to do it now or do it next. Let's ban the quote unquote but. Let's ban the quote unquote because after our apologies. The below the line behavior that the interference between us and our potential. Let's make sure that we also quantify and capture the repairs that were made, not the wrongs that were suffered. Get out of blame, shame, and justification. Be accountable. Learn the lessons through attraction, responsibility, and the participation in perception. If you would like lesson number 4, accountability without blame, shame, and justification, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 5 in the relativity of the past, turn pressure into practice. This is called present focused execution, when we're able and capable of turning our pressure into practice. Strategic foresight will help with this, because anxiety it is expensive. I do an inventory of my employees and even look at the emotional expense that they cost me and others in my business in order to have the strategic foresight of how valuable an employee is that is working with me. If that anxiety cost is too high, if that emotional expense is too high, I don't care how much money they make for us. I need to allow them to fall away or fire them from my present. Only present actions will convert uncertainty and circumstance into progress, protection, promotion, love, and perfection. When we interfere, we spiral. And we are spiraling about all the future things that can happen with competitors, with interest rates, with weather. And when we ship on time, when we finish the deal, when we get things done earlier than expected, we allow the interference to shorten and the momentum, the inspiration to elevate its presence in our lives. We trust future with faith and wisdom that although there's no evidence today, although the evidence is contrary and has created even more pressure, we allow that pressure to turn into practice, and we let that trust, that faith fuel our actions with non-negotiable and circumstantial or negotiable behaviors each and every day, knowing that we have 24 hours each and every day guaranteed for us, except for the last day of our lives. When we have non-negotiables, we have controllables. And when we have non-negotiables in assigned time each and every day, a minimum amount of time to our sleep, our health, our families, the activity we get paid for, the study of time, faith, and relativity, we allow those solutions to emerge, and we set forth controllables for at least half of our day, and allowing us to focus primarily on the uncontrollables, the uncertainties, the circumstances of the day, and getting better and better at prioritizing those according to those circumstances or uncontrollables or those non-negotiables. Let's review the losses, the systems that fixed it, and the actions that we improved upon. Protect your time daily. Make sure that you do the work with non-negotiable behaviors. Block out time for sleep and health and family, activity you get paid for, faith, the study of time, and the study of relativity. 90% of the revenue that you create will be from those non-negotiables, regardless of the circumstances or negotiables of each and every day. You'll continue to turn the pressure that exists from the uncertainty that is present into practice that is present focused execution in alignment with the devotional divine direction of where you want to be, or better, aligning the meaning of the past and following the first 4 lessons as well. If you would like the exercises, guides, and books, the lessons of number 5, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The 6th and final lesson of the relativity of the past is let it go to let it grow. Here's the ultimate reconciliation and conflict of human nature. It's the human experience that needs to be reconciled underneath the infinite experience. There's a lot of wisdom and faith that is necessary in order to reconcile the daily behaviors into the infinite behaviors that we have, the infinite power, inspiration, intelligence, intuition that exists that we interfere with in this great paradigm shift of surrender, of letting it go to let it grow. When we don't align the relativity of the past and put the context right in that past, and we carry regrets and guilt and separation, it will anchor our creativity, our co-creation, and our commandment, working with the universe, the inspiration, the infinite, abundant, unified system of thought that we all exist in. When we let it go, releasing that regret, that interference, frees all of the collaboration and courage and clarity and connection that we have. It releases the interference. It shortens the distance of resistance, not only with wisdom, but with faith that we're being protected, promoted, loved, and perfected, even though we don't see any evidence or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be. So many times things flip and flop and become a playbook chapter instead of a scar. We can create confidence and comfortable behavior with our personal lives, our teams, and of course, our organizations, our associations, and the relativity that exists around it to rebound into the next flop that we're going to have, continually growing and expanding and creating exponential outcomes accordingly. Remember that a story rewritten is a future reclaimed. I'm going to repeat that. A story that is rewritten, which you have the power. You have the power to give meaning and context to anything that you see, creating non-negotiable, negotiable behaviors in the relativity of the divine direction with devotional behavior that's inspired, intuitive, and intellectual in its nature, shortening the distance of that resistance with wisdom and faith, and rewriting that story, because a story rewritten is a future reclaimed. Go ahead and play the match game with releases, with regrets, by saying we bless it, we pray for its happiness, we learn blank, and we release it. Replace the pursuit of perfection with the consistency. Give it a quantitative score of how much time do you spend interfering with it, and how many times are you on the path to pursue an enjoyable, consistent, persistent potential that you have. Create truth circles with mentors, teachers, and coaches and peers, the subject matter and topics and expertise of the teams that you play for, and allow the challenges of the old narratives, the energetic and genetic inheritances in real time to dissipate, dissolve, and disappear in these teams, these truth circles of mentorship, getting people that sit in a situation that you want to be in, being one. Teachers that can explain the directions on how to get there. And of course, coaches to bring the best out of us and allow the challenge to occur with the old energetic and genetic inheritance, the old narratives in real time, dissipate, dissolve, and disappear, shortening the distance of resistance. We must understand that we control the relativity of the past. And we can utilize lesson 1, the audit of the influence internally and externally. We can understand the infinite amount of energy, intuition, intellectually, and inspiration that is greater than the stories that we tell. We care what we carry, chooses the rooms and teams that we surround ourselves with. We just don't think thoughts. We remind ourselves in lesson number 3 that the relativity of the past reframes or relives our lives for us in a divine direction and devotional behaviors, negotiable and non-negotiable. Lesson 4, reminding ourselves that accountability is key to finding the lessons that we learn through gratitude and forgiveness without the blame, the shame, the justification that we own blank. Our next action is blank, and do it now because 100% of the things we do now get done. Lesson number 5 reminds us to turn pressure into practice, to be present, focused execution. Allow ourselves to trust the future, even though there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be, shortening that distance with wisdom and faith. Allowing ourselves to rewrite the story of the past, which will become a future that is reclaimed, remembered, and recollected from a source that's infinite, abundant, and unified in that system of thought. We bless it, we learn blank, we release it, and we continue to pursue our perfection. Progress, not perfection. Our past isn't the problem, it's the solution. Our past is actually the resolution, the resolution of our future. The meaning that we give it is the resolution, the resolution. When we name the influences, reframe the story, and take present focused action, we convert yesterday's limitations of our self-image and our imagination into today's potential and leverage. When we stop doing business with dicks internally and externally, and just understand that we ourselves are the biggest dick that we have to deal with, and being humble, notating that we're either humble or we're about to be, accountability becomes our advantage. The ability to be responsible, attract, and participate in a perception, to learn lessons and be consistent in a devotional behavior becomes our comfortability, our confidence, and the surrounding energies and rooms, events, situations, and teams that we play for start choosing us back. Every force has a similar counterforce. Play the match game, as Dr. Wayne Dyer taught us. The path forward is straightforward. The future is straightforward in the divine direction, in the devotional behavior, because we need to name it and pay attention to it. We need to clear the interference. We need to reframe it and own it and act now, and then release and repeat. If we live these steps of name it, clear it, reframe it, own it, act now, and release and repeat, if we live these steps, we'll trade our interference, the separation, inferiority, superiority, the anxious, frustrating, angry, guilty, resentful, and worry, forecasting for intentional execution of what we do, what we say, what we think, and what we feel. We will turn those setbacks into systems, and we'll build a self-image, an unlimited, infinite self-image and imagination that can hold a success that scares others, but not us, because we're commanded, co-creating a calling in our lives to be our best, to be closest to your God, able and capable of helping others, to being service and of value to all, to be a beloved servant. We're not waiting for permission or perfection. We're choosing a new meaning of the past, and with it, a bigger, brighter future. This has been the Relativity of the Past training. If you like this exercise guide or my book, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to the Nick of WOM to reset the room so we could take a few questions. We are blessed to be here. Thank you, Nick, for your patience and understanding and allowing me to be human.
Absolutely. Got your back as always, my friend, and want to thank you for an incredible training today. And of course, as a reminder to everybody, I know just like myself, you guys want the guide and exercise from today's training. So all you need to do for the guide and exercise on the relativity of the past is email David directly, david@dmeltzer.com. And now it is time for my favorite part, which is understanding what people are listening for by opening things up for Q&A. So of course, if you are joining us online, please make sure to put your questions into the chat. And if you are live here in the Breakfast with Champions, the greatest room and community on Clubhouse, use the hand icon if you are in the audience to request to join the stage, and we will bring you up. Or of course, if you are already on stage and have a question for David today, please just put a quick note in the room chat and I will be happy to pass the mic over your way. Now, without further ado, David, for the first question of the day, we have a good friend of ours that we get to see in a little less than a month at Creative Con. So you know what that means. It is time to get swifty with Mr. Brian Swift. Brian, my friend, happy Friday. Always good to see you here. What question do you have for us this morning?
Happy Friday. Always love to see you, gentlemen and ladies in the room. So, Dave, if you take two people that both had a tough past, you know, maybe they didn't have the resources, didn't have the support, love, maybe had a traumatic incident, injury happened to them, and one is able to move on and the other just seems stuck in the past. Is it because that one that moved on has been able to apply these 6 lessons to their life and drive themselves into that divine direction?
I'm not sure they need to apply all 6 of the lessons, but yes, in order to be protected, promoted, loved, and perfected, you need to utilize the appropriate lesson for what limitations you're putting on yourself or what punishment, regret, blame, shame, or justification that you're putting upon your past. The entire idea is that we always are in the infinite. We're always in the flow. We're always inspired. We're always intelligent, intuitive, and inspired in the faith in the flow. And these are the things that interfere with it. And the meaning that we give the past will create an accelerated, aggregated, and exponential interference that can cause us to accelerate in the wrong trajectory or slow us down immensely, which then creates more insecurity and more ego, and then more fear, and then more interference. So one, if not all of these lessons are key in order to be promoted, protected, loved, and perfected, to progress and not digress in an interfering way. And so we're looking to put more ease and dissipate the dis-ease from our past.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Thank you, brother. I'll see you soon.
We will see each other.
Yes, we will. Awesome. All right, Nick, who's up next?
Absolutely. It is time for the Meltzer Double, coming to us live, I believe, from Washington, D.C. Mr. Eric Meltzer, happy Friday, my friend. Why don't you unmute yourself and keep this train rolling with the next question?
Yes, thank you so much, guys. So my question is, can you just to further elaborate on forgiveness and gratitude when reframing traumas from the past and the role that they play in learning from it?
Yeah, they're the brother and sister of meaning, gratitude, and forgiveness or empathy. They're the brother and sister of meaning, and meaning is relativity of the association that we give things and the contextual nature of our future. And so gratitude, we take the failures, setbacks, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances, and even the successes of the past, and we use gratitude to find light, love, and lessons in it. And then we forgive ourselves and others, forgive ourselves for the mistakes that elevated our awareness to those lessons and the light and the love that are in things that other people can't see, that other people can't find. One of the superpowers that is created through gratitude and forgiveness is the ability to enjoy finding, loving, and learning to love what we don't like or love about what we love. Can you find light, love, and lessons? Can you learn to love what you don't like or love about your spouse, about your kids, about your activity you get paid for, about a trip, about the weather, about mortgage rates, about politics? You know, recently, Eric, I got hired to speak at Mar-a-Lago, and I didn't realize that a location is political and could evoke so much emotions. People were attacking me personally. Where I use every venue, regardless of where it is or who owns it or whatever it may be, to utilize it as an opportunity to appreciate our differences, to communicate my perspective of unity. And so many people attacked me. They didn't want me to have the opportunity to bring us together, whatever your political views are. And I was so disappointed that people wanted to leave the community and attack me because of a location, when that location provided me a platform to discuss matters with people that may not agree with me and allow me to appreciate the differences and to maybe change the meaning of their past so that they can see that we all are human. We all have a human experience, and that we can share in a perspective, a relativity, and a meaning of that past in order to pursue our potential in a unified, abundant, infinite system. But instead, someone took the choice without gratitude and without forgiveness to try to create more interference in my life and theirs, to create more insecurity and separation, inferiority and superiority, more guilt, resentful, anger, frustration, when it was just simply, for me, a hired opportunity to share an inspiring, for those who know me, unifying message. And so I encourage anybody who is creating more interference or separation to use gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons in every location, to forgive yourself and forgive others, to provide an opportunity to shorten the distance of resistance between us so that we can share in that gratitude, we could share in that forgiveness so that we all can be responsible, we all can attract, and we all can participate in a perception of our higher and best selves. So thank you for those people who attacked me. Thank you very much for allowing me an opportunity to share with you my perception of why I will continue to take any stage that I can to share a unifying message with those that may agree or disagree with me, those who resonate with me, because it's not going to take everybody. It's not going to take everybody to change the world. It's just going to take 1,000 of you to empower 1,000 more, to empower 1,000 more, 1,000 times 1,000's a million times 1,000's a billion. If we can get 1 billion people in a collective consciousness of peace, joy, harmony, inspiration, intelligence, and intuition, it'll change the world, because one particle of light overcomes 1 million particles of darkness. So let's spread the light through the gratitude and the forgiveness, being accountable and being inspired in spirit. And for those of you that want to leave the community, because I took an opportunity to share at Mar-a-Lago, regardless of my political opinions or my friends and family's political opinions, please leave the community, protect and promote us. If you do not want to unify, this is the wrong community. If you want to unify, this is the right community. This is a community of protection, promotion, love, and perfection, of unity. It is a unified neighborhood of frequency, higher than politics, higher than religion. It's one of humanity. Thank you so much, Eric, for allowing me an opportunity to share how important it is to be forgiving and grateful.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dave. This is amazing.
Thank you, my namesake. All right, Nick of WAM, I'm so excited about today's WAM podcast 34. We're gonna have to think of the super number. We name every episode after a famous, usually athlete or celebrity that's relative to the number. So, been through Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now we're at 34, and there's so many greats at 34. But I'm thinking maybe you know who I'm thinking of.
Walter Payton.
You got it, B. Yeah, he's sweetness.
I was going to leave it as a surprise to make people want to tune in, but if we want to give them a little bit of a teaser as to what's to come, it will definitely be the Walter Payton episode. And Mr. Meltzer, as we got 8 minutes left here, I got so many requests for questions. And
hey, can you tell the people that we didn't get to questions that Monday? Number one, you can join our group on Mondays. So just email Nick at dmeltzer.com, or you can come to the Ask Me Anything on Mondays. Email Nick at dmeltzer.com, or you can come meet us live at Mar-a-Lago, Nick at dmeltzer.com, or you can come to New York, Nick at dmeltzer.com, or you can come to Wednesday's Napoleon Hill free training, Nick at dmeltzer.com, or continue to come to Friday training, Nick at dmeltzer.com, or come to our IG lives, Nick at. So we got plenty of opportunities, our meetups, holding courts, to ask questions, because I can't get to everybody today, but we are here every day to answer questions for free. Nick at dmeltzer.com. But go ahead, Nick.
Absolutely. I was just going to pass it over to Dr. McKnight, who has been patiently waiting with her questions. So, Dr. McKnight, it's great to see you here. Feel free to unmute yourself and carry us on with the next question.
Good morning. I just have a quick question regarding those steps. Is it best to do them simultaneously or when there's a need? Or what's the progression like going from one lesson to another with those steps that you explained earlier?
Yeah, I think they're as they're needed. So as the interference presents itself, you have 6 different tools in your belt to align with the divine direction of where you want to be. So as you categorize, is this thing that I'm doing, saying, thinking, feeling, or believing aligned with where I want to be or better? And if it's not, then you have a tool belt to say, okay, I'm going to use this lesson or that lesson to help diminish or decrease the resistance that I'm creating, the interference that I'm creating. And so I consider it a tool belt, an arsenal to shorten the distance of resistance. And then I apply the favorite lessons to the circumstance that presents itself.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the book.
Anytime. Keep on reading on, and we got many more exercises and guides for you. Love to meet up in person sometime at one of our meetups, holding courts, or dinners, masterminds, or other things that we have going on. So thank you, Dr. McKnight.
Beautiful. And next up, David, as we are rocking and rolling here, we got Kim Erickson with the next question. So Kim, happy Friday. Unmute yourself and carry us on with the next question. Thank you so much.
Happy Friday, everyone. And David, oh my gosh, what incredible lessons you just gave each and every one of us here today. And the replays, I'm 1,000% agreeing with all, and how you say it is just, just phenomenal. The light that we carry, we've been in this personal growth and in this lifetime, teaching the 1 to 3%ers, teaching, because I'm getting to my question, all of these amazing teachings. And of course, I was just with the monks, and I know about letting our light shine. We can only change ourselves, and then it overspills and it touches other lives. And that's what you're doing. And with the people on this call and the thousands and millions of people you're touching, we are also carrying that and touching as many. My question was, with all that we are learning in our lifetime with the personal development and everything that's in vogue, what are you personally seeing the percentage of the lives with these truths? Are you seeing people really transform their lives? I know that's an interesting question, but you have such experience with people. I just thought I'd ask it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, there's a high percentage that want to change. But I still think, Napoleon Hill's percentages of 2% of the people are these people that live at a definite level of purpose, and the other 98% are drifters. Now, the nice thing is there's so much access to the billions of people that 2% of a million is a lot of people. And I'm just looking to get to 1,000 people so they can get to 1,000 and get to 1,000 and create that exponentiality to increase that percentage from 2 to 3 to 4%, whatever it may be. I think there is, in the realm of progress, an importance of people changing their perspective, at least to want to change. I don't necessarily think that I can change people directly, which is why my motto and my mission are aligned with empowering 1,000 to empower 1,000. But what I do want to do, and this has been something I'm sure being in the personal development space as long as I have, I just want to plant seeds under trees that I may never sit under. I may want to sit and plant these seeds, and in divine time, somebody's going to water it. Whether I get credit for that seed or not is irrelevant in the relativity of my past. But I know, even with my own children, I joke around when they roll their eyes at me with my favorite quotes like "be more interested than interesting," or "you're either humble or you're about to be," or "I love you, I appreciate you, I always have your back," whatever it is, and they roll their eyes. I know they're planting a seed. I thank them when they roll their eyes at me, my own children. I say, "Thank you." And they're like, "Why are you thanking me?" I said, "Because you acknowledged what I said and you rolled that idea right back into your brain. You planted that seed, and maybe some other coach, teacher, or mentor in your future that will water that seed, and that in a divine time will take root to change your life." And so my job is to plant seeds under trees that I may never sit under, and allow the change to exist within the context of the divine time of awareness. But about 2% of the people are impacted immediately and make those changes. And these are the people that decide not only I want to change, but I'm going to apply my why, the definiteness of purpose, the divine direction of devotional behavior. What a great question. If you want more information on that, please read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. As chairman of Napoleon Hill, I'm always promoting Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, The Laws of Success. Outwitting the Devil is my favorite book. It wasn't published till 2011, written in 1937. One of the most impactful books to put you into the 2%, by the way. So thank you so much for bringing that up. Nick, why don't we go out and close out the room? It is 6:59 and we want to stay on divine time. I appreciate everybody. If you'd like the exercises, guys, or my book, david@dmeltzer.com. If you'd like to be informed or invited, as Nick had stated, we created a community of people via text. You can be informed and invited of over 200 different opportunities and events a year, cities that we're in. 949-298-2905. If you don't want to be informed or don't want to be invited, do not text us. Do not text 949-298-2905. But please be more interested than interesting. Please be kind, especially kind to your future self. Please pre-order. Don't Do Business with Dick's, launching at Super Bowl. It will plant some seeds under your tree so that you can grow at an exponential rate. Nick of Wam, it's 7 a.m. Pacific time. Close out the room on Clubhouse. I'll close out the room on my 28-year webinar seminar that's here. Does that sound fair?
Sounds more than fair, my friend, and want to thank you.
All right, everybody. Once again, thank you so much. Please pre-order Don't Do Business with Dick's. Please reach out to us if you want to meet us. We will be, once again, next week in New York City, meetup, Holding Court, VIP dinner, Holding Court meetup, interviews, Mar-a-Lago, then San Diego with Marshall Falk, meetup, Holding Court, and speeches as well as the 3, then in Las Vegas for season 10 of Office Hours, then the SoFi Mastermind with Wolfgang Puck, Tim Story, and myself. Please email me, david@dmeltzer.com, if you'd like to join us, or text us. Like I said, remember, most importantly, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.